Today we're going to talk about how to create your lead attraction system. And I'm hopeful that you downloaded and took a look at the 30-day lead machine, my guide to create your own virtual event. Because that's something you can do in the next 30 days to be able to give your business a boost. All you need to do is follow the 9 steps that I outlined in that guide, and you'll be able to have your own event. Now, it does take some effort and takes a lot of focus over a short period of time, but then you can give your practice a boost. So whether you're down here and you implement your lead machine to boost your business now, or if you've been on a plateau and you run an event, you implement your lead machine to get you up to that next level, it's something you can do to really focus your efforts and boost your business in the short term. But if you did that all the time, you'd be exhausted. So we need to help you get into your marketing rhythm. What is your system that you're going to follow? How is it that you can follow week over week, beat by beat, what it is you need to do for your marketing? I know many advisors will stare blankly at a screen wondering, what is it I'm supposed to do when it comes to marketing? Maybe you throw a few darts and you try something out and you go, I don't know, should I do this? Should I do something else? And you're really, truly throwing darts at a dartboard. You don't know what to do next. A lot of times that can result in just total frustration around your marketing and exhaustion. And frankly, it can also cost a lot of money where you waste your resources, whether it's time, money, or both. How is it that you can find the right balance for what you want? Well, today I want to talk about how can we generate awareness, get people interested and looking at you, and getting them to take an action. So how is it that we can make it known that you're out in the world, that you're there for business, and that someone should raise their hand and tell you that they have an interest? Enter my 2-prong approach. This is how we can break it down. So think about your marketing when you're looking to generate leads that will turn into clients. So you're looking to attract in leads that become prospects and become clients. You need 2 sides of the equation. There's what I call the foundation, and then there's also what I call the freedom element. And when you put these 2 parts together, you're going to attract in more of the types of people that you want to work with, which ultimately means a much happier you. And that's really, really exciting, and that's what we're talking about today. So I know marketing sometimes can stop you in your tracks or overwhelm you. So stick with me here because we're going to get into some specific how-tos so that you can get into action. Okay, so what's foundation? There are 3 elements to foundation, the first of which, as with any marketing, is having clarity on your target audience. Who do you want to attract into your practice? This is absolutely 100% important. It's essential. It's your first foundation element. So rather than trying to attract all of these different kinds of people in, how is it that you can hone in? Who is it that you want? So rather than trying to be all things to all people, where you're going to end up in what I like to call the general file with every other financial professional there is, whether you're an investment advisor, a wealth manager, you're going to fall into insurance agent, financial planner, you might even be in real estate agent, mortgage broker, accountant, bookkeeper. There's a whole mess of professionals that you might even fall in with attorney, and who knows. It can really expand from there. You're going to fall into what I call the general file, and you don't want to be there. You don't want to be in miscellaneous financial professional. You want to be so clear on who your target audience is that you can articulate it very clearly and you know where to direct your efforts. How do you know what kind of content to develop if you don't know for whom you're writing or for whom you're recording content? How do you know if you should go out and do a guest post on a blog if you don't know who the audience is you want to attract? There's just far too many properties out there, far too many options to try to be all things to all people, because then, as we know, you are nothing to no one. So we really want to hone in on being able to describe specifically who that client is that you want to attract in. So the first one is clarity on your target audience. The second part of foundation is, do you have a lead capture and follow-up communication system in place? If you went through my free sign-up at kristenharrod.com, I took you through some free videos where I talk about how to take a lead to a lifelong customer. And that's where I outline the 6 steps to capturing a lead, following through cultivation, and recognizing the cherishing of your clients. But when it comes to attracting in leads, attracting prospects who become clients, you need to have a way to capture the leads. And your typical advisor website is listed under something like genericadvisor.com, and you often see a picture of the office or the city in which you're doing business, maybe the people who are in the practice, and the copy goes something like, "We are awesome! We've been in business for many, many years. We do all these things. We offer all kinds of services for wealthy people, including," and the list goes on with 10, 12, 15 things: tax preparation, money management, comprehensive personal financial planning, estate planning, guidance, and blah, blah, blah. It goes on. And so essentially you leave your potential client with the ultimatum. They either are ready to do business with you right now, sign up for your consultation, give us a call for your free consultation, or they leave. So you're losing a ton of traffic because if someone's not ready right in that instance, they're going to go away. So we want to have a way where the client feels comfortable, they feel that they can get to know you, they can immediately say, does it look like I'm a good fit with you? Are you a good fit for me? So here we have someone named smallbusinessfinancialadvisor.com. They have social engagement here, so you have a way to connect. They have a very specific photo that relates to the target audience. So here we have small business owners who are open for business, clearly a garden store or a local store of some sort, and then clarifying questions that help the reader understand, am I in the right place? Do I want to get to know this person better? So are you a solopreneur who wants to plan ahead? Do you run a small business? Do you worry about payroll and lose sleep? So things that are very specific to this audience. And then there's a free educational download. So it might be download our checklist for small businesses when it comes that you can use to think about your finances, or our free guide to small business financial planning, whatever it might be, the 10 steps to something. So you have a way for someone to get to know you. The lightest way is that they can follow you. The next commitment is they enter a name and email address and they get their free educational information. And then from there, you follow up with each of the steps in the pattern, each of the communication follow-up system that says, hey, here's your free content, want to follow up with some more content, want to follow up again, would you like to come in with a consult? So you're easing someone in to the process. So that's the second part of the foundation. And then the third part is one that's very easy to handle, but often overlooked. So this can be a quick win for you. And frankly, it's something you can do while you're watching television, sitting on the sofa, even just hanging out on the weekends. It's something that you can do within a few minutes every couple days to get yourself front and center to your target client, to get yourself in the places where they'll be. So this is online presence and profile management. So what do I mean? Well, there's all these properties out on the web, and you want to start with the bigger ones first, where you can claim a listing. The first one that's often overlooked by advisors is Yelp. As a business, you can have a listing on Yelp. So as a financial planning practice or a financial advisory, you can go in, set up your business page on Yelp, upload some photos, provide all the details of your business. And that way, if someone goes into Yelp and they're looking for a financial advisor, you'll pop up. Now, I have to say, when I had my financial planning firm, I didn't get a lot of leads from here, but I got a few every year. Someone would say, oh, I found you on Yelp. Two reasons. One, this is a place where people go for recommendations. And two, there really aren't many financial advisors. So you're going to show up and be one of the few with a very professional looking listing. Now, this is not about people going in and leaving their feedback and comments, and they will, maybe. But it's really about being listed in a place where the target audience, where your customers go. And so you want to show up when they look for a financial planner, financial advisor on Yelp. Bing has a listing called Bing Places for Business. So you go into Bing, it's a search engine, you look up Bing for Business, you claim your listing, you fill out the details, enter your address. You want to make sure that you're showing up. This helps with search results. These are things that you do to sort of check the boxes and make sure you're showing up in the big places where your customers will go. Perhaps the biggest is Google My Business. If you have not yet claimed your Google business listing, you want to go into Google and type Google My Business and follow the steps. You claim your listing, you have your address, you're going to show up on maps. If someone enters in your name into Google or your firm name, it's going to come up with a very detailed listing. This is a must do. And then, of course, there's the associations. Have you set up your profile? Did you upload a photo? Are you in the Find an Advisor search? Do you need to pay the few $100s or whatever it might be to get your name listed in the upgrade? If you're part of NAPFA, that's one of the best features NAPFA offers, is the fee-only advisor, is the fee-only listing. You want to upgrade to be able to do that, and then make sure your profile is very clear on who your target audience is, what is your website, who do you focus on, talk about your service, get some information out there so that when people go looking at the associations for an advisor, they can find out more about you without having to go over to your website. Be yourself on your listing. It'll be far more compelling. Okay, so those are the 3 foundation items. So again, these can be done. They don't have to be all checked off before you really get into doing the out in the world marketing. So getting out and sharing yourself. But you do need to know clarity on the target audience. That's an absolute must. The other ones you can start to work in as you are doing the other side of the equation. So let's talk about the freedom. This is the creative side. This is where a bit of the art comes in. This is the exciting piece for those of you who want to use more of your right brain. Here is where we're going to engage in a proactive manner with our marketing efforts. So you're going to get out and share content. You're going to get out and comment. You're going to get out and be in charge of where you're going. You're going to shape your online identity. You're going to take your brand personality, take your values, take all the things that you stand for and reinforce them by participating out in the world And in this realm, we're really talking about online marketing, but you can do it in offline as well. It all applies. But it's really about getting out there and shaping what you want people to think about you. And this really, the strategy we use here is content marketing. I know you've heard content marketing time and time again, but why is it important? Well, content has 4 main objectives that it can hit. It can hit one of them, 2 of them, or all 4. It doesn't matter. Primarily, content is used to educate. So you're going to get out and teach people what it is they need to know about your subject matter. So what is it that you're an expert in? If it's the small business, you want to talk about issues related to business owners. Issues related to payroll and why they worry about, tap into those worries and aspirations. Talk about the various the retirement plans available for small business owners. Talk about the stress of managing family and running a business. Whatever it might be, you're going to educate. You might editorialize. You want to share your opinion. What do you think about some new legislation? What do you think about how small businesses need to think about retirement? Get in there and share an opinion. That is really important. Share an article and put your opinion related to that article. I agree, I don't agree, and this is why. Entertain. Sometimes your content is just going to entertain. It's going to be fun. It's going to be out there to put a smile on your faces. A lot of times in the social media world, some of the posts you share are simply entertaining. Now, you want to keep them within the realm of your brand and personality, but don't be too stuffy about your content. You can also get out there and share things that made you feel good, things that your audience will appreciate. And you're really there to inspire. So how is it that you can create that excitement around engaging in your finances, engaging in your business, engaging in your life? So you're there to inspire. And these are all 4 objectives that come from content marketing. And this is really what content marketing is about. And so how is it that you do these 4 things? How do you educate, editorialize, inspire, entertain? You do it through sharing content, and that might be through blog posts, it might be through webinars, teleseminars, speeches, seminars, checklists, downloads, tweets, videos, whatever it might be. And the dollar signs are simply showing where you may have to invest a little more beyond just your time and energy to have some artwork done or creative laid out. But you need to figure out which of these channels works best for you to be able to get out and do those types of efforts. So you need to say to yourself, okay, if I want to get out and educate, if I want to get out and inspire, I want to get out and entertain, what are the channels I'm going to use? And then perhaps the most important thing to have is a whole lot of patience. Because this is not a get results quick concept. You want to host a webinar and do your 30-day lead machine and get all of your energy behind that? Yes, there you can go directly for getting some consults and getting things moving quickly. But this is about the tick-tock of the metronome, the week over week, the messages you're sending out on a consistent basis so that you're showing up when a certain client, target client, finally has the event in their life or the trigger that makes them actually need to pick up the phone or email you and come meet with you about their finances. So the concept here is that you share and educate, you share and educate, you share and educate, or entertain, editorialize, inspire. And eventually you'll create a money-generating action. So someone will come into your office, they will meet with you. They might do a project, they might move over one account, they might have you do a plan, whatever your model is. And then over time, they become loyal clients. So it is a slow build that pays off strong with really, really tight, loyal clients. Now you may say, that sounds great. Oh, that's very cool, but excuses like to step in. And here today, I'm here to say, stop the excuses. I've heard them all. And really, there are no good excuses to say this can't be done. So let's cover some. I don't have enough time. Fair enough, we're busy, we run businesses, we have a lot going on. It's really hard to manage it all. How about I don't make enough time? Your online identity, the identity you put out into the marketplace where people are in search of finding your service, requires you to put time into the equation, to direct your time. In fact, when you run a business, one of the main things you need to do is market your practice, market your business. This takes time, it takes energy, it takes money. And so you need to make it a top priority. I can't say, oh, you'll just fit it in between the operations, in between making client calls, in between all these different things. You have to make this a top priority. You don't make enough time. It has to lead your priority list. That's the bottom line on this one. Another excuse is, well, if I get too specific with my target audience, I'll pigeonhole myself and lose out on clients. Classic. This will stop you in your tracks because once you don't have a target audience, then you don't know what kind of content to write, and then the content you do write is very generic, and then it doesn't really appeal. Well, I'm here to tell you that I was the first advisor to focus on new and expectant parents and families with young children, where that's 100% what I marketed. And I did this for almost a decade, focused on these expectant parents coming in. And how many times did I have people calling in saying, I'm not a new parent, but I'm not expecting, but you help my children, can you help me? So people want to have an expert. They want to have someone they can get excited about, who understands and has a specialty. And I was able to grow my business from 0 to 6 figures across 3 years extremely quickly, completely from scratch, because I went small. When you go small, you can grow big a whole lot faster. So you can't be too specialized. The next excuse is if I give away too much, no one will hire me. Too much education, too much information, too much detail, too much how-to. This goes back to what my dad used to tell me. Why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free? Sure, this may have applied decades ago, but now, with the prevalence of free information available everywhere online, it is now your job to contribute, to share, to give relevant content to your target audience so that they can start to get to know you, so that they can feel comfortable with you. And the more you give away, the more likely you will be able to attract in someone who really needs your service, who really is a target client. The do-it-yourselfers will always be the do-it-yourselfers. They're going to do it on their own. You want the people who are willing to actually hire you. The people who maybe have the knowledge or have the capacity to learn or want someone to teach them. They don't have the time, they don't have the energy, or maybe they just don't want to deal with dealing with their finances, and they want help. They want someone like you. So they're not going to take all your information and go and do it themselves. It's not their nature. They want to hire someone. So you want to be there top of mind through frequent and consistent content sharing, so that when they finally have a trigger in their life that says, yes, now is the time to get some help, you are the one who comes to the top of their mind when they're ready. Okay, the next excuse, one of my favorites. I don't have to do this kind of marketing because I get all my leads from referrals. Well, there is no question that referrals are some of your absolute best and easiest new clients to get in the door. And that's a fine strategy. It's expected when you run a business that you provide good service, so you'll get good referrals. That's part of the nature of the business. But that is a very reactive strategy. You're just sort of sitting and waiting. Now, you might have a referral generation plan that's saying, okay, I'm getting out there and I'm asking for referrals. I'm letting my clients know that I accept referrals, but you are not proactively getting yourself out there. And when you're thinking about, okay, a referral who gets a name from a client, they're going to go online and look for you. They're going to want to see what you're talking about, what you're doing, what are you up to, and they want to be able to find you, and they want to be able to see some relevant, current content from you. So even if you do rely mainly on referrals, make sure you have marketing out in the world that they can access, that they can get to. And I would argue for a more proactive strategy where you're not sitting here wondering, when is that phone going to ring again? Just how long are you going to wait? Another good one, I've tried sharing content and it doesn't work. Now I do have to ask, have you done the share and educate over time? Share and educate, share and educate, share and educate. You have to do it over time. You need patience. It's not just a one-off effort. And perhaps another important part that I've seen a lot of advisors fall short on is that they're delivering cold, reheated swill. I guess it's not cold and reheated at the same time, but it might as well be. You're giving the swill, the stuff that's been cooking or that's been used or overdone. So it's generic. It's what everyone's talking about. It's someone else's, and you're just forwarding it on without any comment or commentary. So you're not going to get any kind of lift or engagement from using content that isn't high quality. You need to think about like Phil's coffee, one cup at a time. Perhaps the best cup of coffee I've ever had, where it's a cup of love, where each one they care about each post, each bit of content that goes out, even if it's 400 words, even if it's 140 characters. You can tell you care, you thought about it, it had a strategy, it mattered to your target audience, it addressed a need they have, an aspiration they had, it reinforced something about them. This is what is essential when it comes for content, is it has to be high quality. It doesn't have to be produced by you specifically, but it's got to be high quality and really match the needs and aspirations of your audience. Now you may say, how the heck am I supposed to do that? I have everything I need to do. There's no way I'm going to be able to do that. I can't be thinking about every single word and letter I type or write. Well, I have a quick action for you. Let's get this quick win under your belt and you'll feel really good and be like, okay, I can do it. And that is, I want you to write one, just one, post, blog post, record a podcast or record yourself talking a blog post and you can have it transcribed, or record a video. Just sit down and do one of these kinds of posts. One piece of content. That's all I want you to do. Create one piece of content. Don't worry about how long it is. Don't worry about how short it is. Don't worry about what the topic is. Think to your audience, what is one thing that I know my audience cares about? Sit down and record it. Write it. Speak into the microphone. Get it done. Here's one that my son wrote for school, and he really resists writing. He really can't stand it. But it's his opinion on Mario Kart 8. It's really fun. He recommends it. What do you need? You need a Wii U. Okay, so a little bit about it. His favorite, of course I can't read this, his favorite part is the mushroom gorge. It's a very good game. So he's giving his content, he's giving a little how-to, and he's giving his opinion. It's time to just jump right in. Take the leap. Get started. Just start creating one piece of content and you'll see it's not as hard as you thought. Now, if this is really interesting to you and you're thinking, wow, I'd really like to learn more, this is simply just the beginning of what I can see as being a very valuable system, then I encourage you to take a look in the right-hand side and click the link. You'll learn about my Leads You Love program. This is an online course that I developed for you, a financial advisor, to be able to develop the system that you can use to attract in the types of leads you want who will ultimately become clients you love. So I highly encourage you to take a look if this is something that's interesting to you. I've broken the content down into 10 modules that give you specific how-tos with exercises you can do, with templates, with examples, all kinds of training that you can follow step by step to put together the system that you can use week over week, month over month, year over year to create the type of client attraction system you need for your practice to be able to get to the next level for you. So I highly encourage you to check out Lead You Love if this is something interesting to you. I do have a 7-day free trial, so there is no risk. And no matter what, I'd like to say thank you for joining me today. I appreciate having you on this webinar. And I wish you the best and hope you'll join me for some future training.